I used to live in this area myself also earlier, but have now moved elsewhere. And just now on your right, this Sale, well Sale, but Sale it's pronounced in Finnish Sale, is your nearest grocery store. And it's open every day until midnight.
So one good.
Yeah.
Keskustahan me mennään.
Joo, tuonne ja sitten käännetään sitten tuohon Kajalle.
Joo.
Tai kun Kainatti.
Ai.
On your left you can see the former printing house of the local Kaleva newspaper. Kaleva is the fourth largest 7-day newspaper in Finland, and in Finland the people subscribe the newspapers, so we don't buy them usually in the newsstands or kiosks, but they are delivered in the middle of the night to everybody's homes if you have subscribed to the newspaper. Otherwise on your left there are mainly furniture stores. There's also one bike store, this Suomen polkupyörätukku outlet that you can see the red sign on your left. On the right is the Oulu Music Center, Madetoja Hall and Tuulinberg Hall. Both halls have been named after local composers. Levi Madetoja, if you know Jean Sibelius, he was active in the same time when Levi Madetoja and Jean Sibelius were active at the same time, so it is said that Levi Madetoja remained in the shadow of Jean Sibelius. But Erik Tuulinberg is actually the first classical music composer in Finland and became also the first Minister of Finances in Finland. That was already in the early 1800s when Finland was ceded to Russia, to the Tsarist Russia, and Finland was then an autonomous Grand Duchy of Russia. Until then, so 1809 was the year, so until then Finland had been part of the Kingdom of Sweden for several centuries, about 700 years more or less. But even during this Russian era, so to speak, our legislation remained in this earlier Swedish era foundation, and also the language of administration in Finland continued to be Swedish. Finnish became the language of the locals here, or the administration. It was the language of locals, but of the administration and the more noble people only in the latter half of 1800s. On your right you can see a small stream that is now finally covered with a thin layer of ice and snow. This is called Kaupungin Oja, Laana Oja, the city ditch. It has always run through the town, but it had more important meaning for the town after one of the big devastating fires in 1822. Because in 1825 a new urban plan was drawn up for the city of Oulu, so for the downtown, and they left a belt of park areas around this stream to protect the city from burning completely down again. Because in this fire of 1822 practically the whole town burns down. There were approximately 430 houses in Oulu in those days, and only 65 houses remained after this fire. But as you can see, the city has been expanding and it was rebuilt after the fire. But the urban plan that was drawn up in 1825, you can still see it in downtown Oulu. So the streets in downtown are lined up in the same places as they were in 1825. And if you're a sports fanatic. So on the right is the Raksila sports area, and most importantly, this hall on your right, Oulun Energia Arena. This is the home stadium of the local ice hockey team Oulun Kärpät, the Ermines of Oulu. And if there's one sport in this town that this city really follows and breathes really, it's ice hockey. Currently, the local team Kärpät is leading the National Champions League, and just yesterday, well, they have played 3 games less than the following who is after them in the league, and they are leading by 3 points at the moment. And they made during this season also a history by winning 17 times in a row, something that no team has ever done in the Finnish Ice Hockey League. And you can say that this Oulun Kärpät has been the most successful team in the Finnish Championships League in this millennium. In the first decade, so between 2000 and 2010, Kärpät won 8 medals in the Champions League. 4 of them were gold. On your left, you can see the Oulu Cemetery, but before that I want to point out to you this red brick building on your right now. This is the place where Osako has its office, and also the University Sports of Oulu has their office there as well. But nevertheless, the cemetery on your left, it's kind of like a park area, but there are graves there, of course. There are more than 100,000 deceased persons buried there. The cemetery was opened for the first time in 1724. After that, it has been forbidden to bury people anymore in the churches. And it is the largest city cemetery in Finland. It's about 26 hectares in land area. So it's a very enormous area, but it's a nice area also to just walk through. And now we come to an area called Kontinkangas. Well, you know those who were in the orientation yesterday, because our School of Health and Social Care is located here. But there are also other important places, for example on your left. If you still remember that Nokia was producing mobile phones, but is about to has sold the mobile phone division to Microsoft, so that's in the left, on your left, in this light blue house. And on your right, this yellowish building on the left that is now just next to us. This is the building where you can find for example, the student health center if you need to visit the doctor, but you have to make an appointment before going there. And on your right, you can see the Oulu University Hospital. So, for example, this emergency 24-hour service emergency room is there. But this is the largest hospital building in Finland. It doesn't look very big, but if you look on the map how large area it covers, and maybe if I tell you that there are more than 1,000 beds in this complex and over 40 kilometers of corridors. So that gives you an idea how big of a building it really is. And well, the entrance for this emergency room, I really hope that you don't have to visit there or any other places in the hospital anyhow, but A1 is the entrance for the emergency room. This is a place, this was called a Kasteli cage. Cage in local dialect meant a gate actually in the... So this was kind of the end of the city until in early 1900s.